NSB Pay ඇප් එකට බැංකු ගිණුමක් ඇතුළත් කරන ආකාරය. ඔබගේ රහස්‍ය අංකය ඇතුළත් කොට ඇප් එකට පිවිසෙන්න. ප්‍රධාන මෙනුවේ සඳහන් Add Payment Method මත ක්ලික් කරන්න. ඔබගේ NSB
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It is an honor to be here at the 7th Young Scientist Conference on Multidisciplinary Research to share my journey in engineering the future, from research to product creation. Today, I will discuss how curiosity, risk-taking, persistence, and interdisciplinary collaboration turn ideas into real impact. Let me share a small confession. When I joined NIFS as a pre-research assistant more than 3 decades ago, I had no idea what I was stepping into. My first week, someone told me, bacteria never sleep. There are no working hours. I thought they were joking. They were absolutely not joking. But those days at NIFS shaped my entire life, far more than I realized at the time. I had the opportunity to open my eyes to science, be guided by brilliant scientists, and be inspired. Distinguished guest, chairman, director, NIFS scientists, and the brilliant young researchers joining online. It is an honor to be here as your keynote speaker today. I work as a system architect at Apple Park in Cupertino. Some people call this place as a spaceship, home to 12,000 people. As a system architect, my mission is to take an idea, whether it is small or big, craft into a product or feature for our customers. It takes a lot of research, many trials, inventing new technologies, overcoming challenges, collaboration with thousands of people to make the idea into reality, a creation that you can hold in your hand. Take Face ID as an example, the feature to unlock your phone. It took many years, hardware designs, cameras, algorithm development, training for many faces around the globe, integrating with the device like a phone. Apple is located in the area called Silicon Valley, an area of about similar distance as Kandy to Colombo. Silicon Valley is home to many tech companies, but to many technologies that are part of your daily life. Google, Meta, Nvidia, Uber, Tesla are some of them. Silicon Valley also home to startups, incubating next big thing like OpenAI. This is the place to be if you are passionate about technology. Melting pot of global innovation. Let me tell you my journey to Silicon Valley. It all started during a challenging time in Sri Lanka. I had my early education in YSCMR Vidyalaya. I completed A-level in maths at Mathura College. The universities were closed for 3 years due to civil unrest. And the students who passed their A-level full of potential and energy were left idling at home, unsure of their future, wasting precious years in their prime youth. Then the legendary Professor Cyril Ponnapperuma called us to join NIFS as a PRA. That was my real launch, my first step of the launch pad. NIFS was a place for us to learn, develop curiosity, challenge ourselves, build friendship that lasted 35 years. Those early experiences at NIFS opened my eyes to science, research, technology, guided by brilliant scientists, and inspired me to explore the world today. At NIFS, I had the chance to explore many different scientific worlds. In Earth Sciences, I worked with Dr. Rubisinger, Dr. Fonseca, literally looking for stones, learning how curiosity and observation can reveal patterns in nature. We explore patterns to locate where gems and geothermal sources. It wasn't just walking around with a notebook. It was scientific engineering. We designed electrodes and measurement instruments, packed our gear, and went on field trips across the country. We hammered these electrodes into the ground, take conductivity and temperature measurement, and record data on old-fashioned way with the notebook. Then we would bring everything back to the NIFS computer lab to analyze. At computer lab, I work with Viracon, our computer wizard. I learned how to analyze field data, clean up, run calculation using the mini computer. I learned how to fix the computer when it crashed or broken. As you know, bacteria never sleep at NIFS. Looking back, that experience was priceless. It taught me that the real innovation begins with hands-on problem solving. Engineering isn't just theory. It is the ability to explore, measure, design, build, and then to make sense of the world through computational and research. Those early days shape how I think even today. It was the first real hint that engineering was my path. I wanted to build things, even before I fully realized it by myself. Those are the habits that continue to guide my work today. I then moved from NIFS to pursue higher education in Australia. Initially, I was offered a Bachelor of Science, even though my goal was a Bachelor of Engineering. I took the risk, knowing I would work hard and prove myself. I still remember sitting outside Dean's office, waiting to ask if I could transfer to engineering. I had no guarantee, but I realized if I didn't take the risk, I'd always wonder what could have been. Within 6 months, I was offered a spot in the Bachelor of Engineering program, making the beginning of an incredible journey. I graduated with first-class honors, specializing in electronics, realizing my lifelong dream, and setting the stage for global opportunities. Also, I did a master's in microelectronics at RMIT University a few years later. After graduation, I was offered a position at Nokia, one of the most innovative companies of its time, revolutionizing mobile communication. Working at Nokia taught me about product excellence, global collaboration, innovation at a scale. I was so excited. First time to apply my new skills into action. The very first circuit that I designed did not work. I missed connecting power to the Motorola microprocessor IC due to schematic symbol error. I failed. Then I learned from my mistakes. Then I went in to design many circuits that works 100% first time. Then I joined Agilent, learn about tests and measurements, build testers, learn how to design microchips. Agilent gave me the opportunity to learn about how to test things, find issues, then find solutions. Later, I joined a startup, literally in a small garage, as you can see here. The company is called Avara, creating products for dedicated networks markets like gas, electricity, rail, where reliability is very critical. Avara didn't have money, but we had belief. We built hardware on a small table and tested prototypes on the floor, and we hand delivered them to our customers. That's where I learned innovation has no glamorous beginning. Every day was an opportunity to take ownership, learn quickly, and solve real problems. I became a jack of all trades. Avara went in to become a leading dedicated network equipment maker. Next, I joined Blackmagic, focusing on audio and video products, leader in a professional video market. During my time there, I helped to build over 35 new products, several of which remain bestsellers worldwide, invented new technologies, and led the industry. Next, Apple invited me to join and move to the United States to work on a new product that you may have seen as the Vision Pro. At Apple, I learned to create premium, design-focused devices that seamlessly work together. Here are some of the products that I had the privilege to create throughout my career. They consist of video, audio converters, monitors, routers, network equipment, Vision Pro, and features in iPhone. There is a story behind all of them. A small idea, research, innovation, failures, persistence took the idea to create real product people come to love. It doesn't matter if it's a small idea or a big idea at a company like Apple. You will hear hundreds of no's. You need to build up your idea, bring others to collaborate, build prototypes to show. It does not matter how scrappy what you build. It helps. You are already in possibilities by demonstrating. Imagine how many prototypes we had to build to realize a device like Vision Pro. Talk to people, learn from them, get their feedback, keep refining the idea. Be prepared to speak in every podium when you get the opportunity. Today, I continue to work on new product development, applying all the lessons of risk, persistence, curiosity, and action that I've learned along the way. If there's one habit that drives innovation, it is this. Keep your eyes open. Look at the world with curiosity. Observe patterns. Notice gaps. Study problems people ignore. Watch how nature solves challenges humans haven't solved yet. Do you know 1 plus 1 is not 2? Yes, it is. It is actually 3. Expand your idea by adding ideas from others. It's a powerful tool that you can use to grow your small idea into something big, something impactful. Many people go through life on autopilot, but innovators cultivate the habit of noticing, questioning, and exploring everything around them. You want to be one of them. Innovation requires taking risk every day. Ask questions, challenge assumptions, test prototypes. Don't hesitate to admit you don't know. Ask for help. Here's a trick that I learned. When you walk into a room, expect everyone is smarter than you. It creates an opportunity for you to learn something new. You will learn new things, gain insight to transform your ideas. I like to say every day is an opportunity to take small step into the unknown. Each step brings you closer to creating something new, something wonderful. Failure is your most loyal teacher. Thomas Edison made over 1,000 failed attempts before inventing the light bulb. He once said, I did not fail. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's what failure really is, a step closer to success. Multi-view product that I designed at Blackmagic failed hundreds of times to function as required. We had to learn from mistakes and iterate. Eventually, we got it right. At Apple, we say fail fast, but fail with a style by trying. Let me be honest. You will fail many times in your life. You must fail. Innovation is built on lessons learned from what didn't work. When I visited Sri Lanka recently, I met several incredibly smart people who told me they were still waiting for the right job. I could not understand. There is a saying, aim for the moon. Even if you miss, you will land among the stars. Perhaps moon is your base to explore further planets like Mars. Let's take an engineering perspective to this. The moon is about 384,000 kilometers away with 3,400 kilometer diameter. To land on it, your launch must be extraordinarily precise. A deviation of 0.26 degrees, you miss the moon entirely. This is assuming Earth or moon are not moving. You may miss the exact target. You may land somewhere unexpected. You may not reach the moon on your first attempt. If you don't aim for the moon, you'll never leave Earth. Ideas that turn into action are just dreams. Innovators are the one who launch, the one who take the risk, the one who spend the day and night obsessing over solving problems, willing to sacrifice comfort, time, and certainty. Even if your trajectory is slightly off, your willingness to act, to launch, will take you further than any idea that lives only in your head. The path is rarely straight. And sometimes the goal you think is right may not be the one, but moving, experimenting, starting is what creates the opportunity. My own path didn't follow the straight line, but every step opened new possibilities to get me to Silicon Valley today. Every innovator learns this. As I mentioned earlier, you will hear hundreds of no's. Rejection is part of the journey. Learn from every no what you need to change, how you need to improve. But you only need 1 yes. Be consistent, be courageous, and keep moving forward. You only need 1 yes to open a world of opportunity. This conference brings together researchers from life sciences, physical and quantum sciences, environmental sciences, data and computational scientists. Breakthrough often happens at the intersection of disciplines. Collaboration across fields helps solve complex challenges. Collaboration across disciplines create the most transformative innovation. Take an Apple Watch as an example. It was initially designed as a device to tell you time and messages. It has become a trusted health monitor. It can tell your heart rate, calories you consume, blood oxygen level, vital health information. Like if you're having a heart attack, all of this is all in your fingertip. So interdisciplinary collaboration between product design, electronics, chip design, biosensors, material science, food science, AI came together to make device like an Apple Watch. I would like to share my personal experience of 35 years of innovation. 35 years ago, I started with the Data General Computer at NIFs to support research activities. Today, we build a computer in the form of a mobile phone, like iPhone 17 here, in your pocket today. The phone has more than 1 million times more compute power compared with the early mini computer. Now, imagine the possibilities you have in your hand. You can find anything in Google without moving one step. Run apps to analyze data. We've come a long way with the mobile phone thanks to years of innovation. The mobile phone was invented in 1973 by Martin Cooper from Motorola. I'm so sorry. I know you could not message to TikTok or Facebook with this Motorola phone. Here is what a modern mobile phone looks like iPhone 17 looks inside. It has an A19 System 1 chip processor which runs at 4.2 gigahertz. It has 3 times more transistors than the entire world population as of today. I am fortunate to be designing such a computer today. You know what? I cannot imagine what you will create in the next 20 years. Before I close, I want to talk about something that has completely changed the way we work today. AI and generative AI tools. In modern engineering teams, companies in Silicon Valley, we do not write code in pure C or C++ or Python line by line anymore. We focus on the design, the architecture, the intent, the problem we are trying to solve, and the AI writes the code. Sometimes in multiple languages at once. Sometimes with optimization we wouldn't have thought of that first attempt. And here's the extraordinary part. AI has already read more books, research papers, journal articles, technical documentation than any human could read in a lifetime. And it remembers it. That means when you ask a question, you are tapping into the collective knowledge of millions of publications instantly. But the insight, the judgment, the creativity, the purpose, that still comes from you. This is a big shift. Engineering spend more time thinking. AI does the typing. AI accelerates prototyping, exploring design alternatives, running simulation, debugging, and generating code. AI amplifies the scientists and engineers. And I truly believe the next major breakthrough in Sri Lanka and the world will come from people who know how to combine human imagination with the speed and the intelligence of AI. Chanukka pointed out that most of the research is done in Sri Lanka only limited to piece of paper or journal articles. We need to focus more on how researchers can use to develop the industries. I know this is one of the biggest challenges for young scientists who is learning how to take an idea or research outcome and turn it into a real product. Many great ideas remain inside labs because the translation step is missing. Commercialization doesn't begin with the perfect product. It starts with identifying a real need, something that someone cares about, hopefully willing to pay for it. The next step is building a prototype, even a rough one, something people can see, touch, use, or react to. A demo is worth 1,000 explanations. I've seen that throughout my career at startups, at Blackmagic, at Apple. Then comes the most important part: validate with real users, not assumptions. Run user studies, watch how they use it, watch where they struggle, watch where things fail. This leads to iteration, improving, refining, simplifying, and eventually you find the right partner, investor, or collaborator who believes in it. But remember, you may hear 100 no's, but you only need 1 yes. And when your idea finally reaches people, when it actually solves problems or improves someone's life, that's when research becomes impact. That is true commercialization. How do we fund the idea? First of all, it's important to understand that it always comes in stages. The most likely place funding begins is your own personal savings, even small amount to buy parts or tools. Then comes support from family and friends. Then those are the people who believe in you before you even do anything. After that, early institutional sources, university grants, department funds, student competition, crowdfunding. These are usually enough to get your first prototype built. Once you have a real prototype, more opportunities open up. National grants, university industry partnership, seed funding, international donor program, and commercial partnership. But the real scaling only happens after traction, when people trust your idea. That's when angel investors, venture capitals, strategic partners supply credit, and the bank loans become possible for you. And Apple is a perfect example. Apple did not start with big funding. Steve Jobs sold his VW van, and Wozniak sold his HP calculator just to build the first Apple computer prototype. That prototype led to purchase order for 50 Apple computers. They still didn't have the money to build them, so Jobs convinced supplier to give parts on a 30-day credit. Only after they proved the idea and made early sales did Apple receive the first major investment. Proof first, money second. And to show the scale of what's possible, Apple's annual revenue today is roughly 4 times the size of Sri Lanka's entire GDP. Revenue and GDP measure different things, but the comparisons show that how far a garage prototype has gone. Apple didn't begin as Apple. They became Apple. Furthermore, startup Avara also follow very similar funding path. By starting small, proving the idea, and letting the progress attract funding. I have few lessons for the young student and scientist today. Keep your eyes open. Ideas hide in patterns, gaps in unexpected places. Start small. You only need your imagination with few scrappy parts. Take risks every day. Each step into the unknown brings you closer to creating something new, something wonderful. Fail boldly. Learn quickly. Remember, failure is your fastest teacher. Be consistent, courageous, and relentless. Remember, you only need 1 year. Aim for the moon, even if you land among the stars. Keep exploring, creating, and persisting. When I walked into IFS as a young PRA, I never imagined I would one day work on products used around the world, touched by millions of people, and talking to you today as your keynote speaker. It started with curiosity, risk-taking, persistence, and few people who believe in me along the way, including the late Professor Ponnamperuma. Your talent is extraordinary. And that's why I believe each of you can even go further. You will engineer the future, not by inheriting it, but by reinventing it. I wish you an inspiring and groundbreaking conference. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions and discussion.
NSB Pay ඇප් එකට බැංකු ගිණුමක් ඇතුළත් කරන ආකාරය. ඔබගේ රහස්‍ය අංකය ඇතුළත් කොට ඇප් එකට පිවිසෙන්න. ප්‍රධාන මෙනුවේ සඳහන් Add Payment Method මත ක්ලික් කරන්න. ඔබගේ NSB ගිණුමේ තොරතුරු නිවැරදිව ඇතුළත් කරන්න. ගිණුම තහවුරු කිරීමේ පියවර අනුගමනය කරන්න. ඔබට දැන් ඔබේ බැංකු අවශ්‍යතා පහසුවෙන් සිදු කරගත හැක.